All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Odoo Live. My name is Todd Farnham, Community Manager here at Odoo San Francisco, and joining me today is Sebastian Sagramoso, Business Advisor and Resident Odoo Expert, here to talk about Odoo eCommerce and Website Builder. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Todd. How you doing, everybody? Today's presentation will be about 40 minutes long. It's going to be like most of our webinars. We will have usually about 20 minutes at the end for questions and answers, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. We also have some discussion topics to include at the end in case no one has any questions, in case I've been able to cover everything. And yeah, besides that, pretty straightforward like most of our webinars.
Perfect. Absolutely. And as Sebastian mentioned, we do webinars quite often, every Wednesday, in fact, in English at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you want to see future ones, just be sure to hit subscribe down below to find out any future webinars. And just as well, if you have any questions throughout this presentation, enter them in the chat box, and we'll be sure to answer them when we can. And, you know, if you want to find out more information about future release dates, upcoming events, if road shows, follow us on Twitter or Facebook. And with that, I think that pretty much sums up most of the intro. So thanks so much, and we'll hand it off to Sebastian.
Yeah, absolutely. If we can switch over to the presentation here, I'm just going to give a quick introduction to what we'll be looking at today. Since it is an e-commerce presentation, I do want to start with actually building a website. I think Odoo has a very powerful tool here when it comes to everything from SEO optimization to actually building on the fly, drag and drop. So we'll put that together immediately. After that, I do want to take a brief look at mobile compatibility and actually invite you to view that on your screen, view the features that Odoo includes there. Finally, jumping into actually e-commerce and the ERP integration. What that means is we'll look at actually selling a product, putting that in your cart, what that process looks like, and then how Odoo manages all of this in the back end. It's really the value of Odoo, right, is being able to have all of this in one place, a seamless integration with your website from the front end all the way to the back end. At the end, we'll take a look at management of your website, of your information, reporting that you can use for all this information, and optimization, analytics, and finishing off with question and answers. So, building a website. Let's jump into it. I've created here a demo database. However, it is a database just like you'd be using. I've started with a 2-week trial. You just attach to your subscription and you can get moving. So what I did was download a few of the apps that we'd be using here in addition to some supporting apps. Sales and website will work together. E-commerce integrates automatically here. And project, accounting, inventory are all used for the organization of the products in the back end and will allow me to run an entire business flow from the website all the way through to delivery, invoicing, and so on. Now, website, like I said, is going to be the basics of this. Before I jump in here, I wanted to give a quick introduction to the company we are demoing for. It is a Pottery Barn. Is actually the name of the company I gave it to it, but if you're not familiar with that company, it's generally home improvement, products for the house, products for the yard, and so we'll be both providing physical products as well as services for the consumer. So first off on the introduction, let's jump into the website app. Website has changed a lot, especially now in SAS 15 for Odoo. Instead of having 2 separate apps for management of the website and then the actual website that you can click into, we've integrated that into one place where we can manage everything from our orders, everything that is either paid, unpaid, abandoned carts, even be able to access your products from here, promotion and coupon programs, that's something we'll look into at the end, a very new powerful tool and very flexible. And of course, other reporting that you have right here that feeds in automatically from the activity on the website and the activity in the back end as well. Down here, analytics, everything about your website, the users that access that, lifetime values, all of this has to do with the Google Analytics account that you can hook up to Odoo. Whatever, depending on your account, the API you're hooked onto, that information will feed in here automatically as well. let's jump into the website now and take a look at what we've done so far. Absolutely nothing. So I downloaded the website here. I have made no changes to it, and I chose a theme. You'll see that this is green. We've got a little bit of beige and white going on. Odoo allows you off the bat to choose one of 25 themes, and then once you choose that theme, it does feature certain colors, certain different types of fonts, for example. Those I can change, edit, and alter to either match a website I'm currently working with or really make a unique look in the website builder. So first I'm going to do is jump over here, click Edit, and let's start to use the drag and drop feature that appears on the left. You'll see that in a few minutes I'm able to put together a pretty decent website without much extra coding, or in fact no extra coding at all. Right? So we've got my feature right here. I can customize this, perhaps change the background image. Let's give it something pretty. Also upload something if I prefer. This actual image here we can delete, and we can write something clever, perhaps. Excuse me. Change the color, change the font, whatever I need to do here. And we can continue with our drag and drop. Maybe add a features page. We can talk about what kind of products we offer, change the size of these images. Perhaps I want it to fade in, fade down. I want this one to be a little larger. Choose a different image, actually upload something from my computer. And then, like I said, those will the animation allows me to control how they appear on the website when I bring it in. Some other more dynamic features down here, we can add quotations from my customers. These will sift along automatically. Write something in here, say. And just about everything you see on the page, oops, cut me off there. Just about everything you see on the page can be customized. I can click into any of this from here without having to jump into another page. We've got 2 pages here. Let's add another slide. Change the background pattern. And finally, even do something more dynamic, we can add a form builder here. This form builder is going to be something that integrates with your back end. I can essentially, as you see here, create a customer, create a lead, actually have this lead into a sale order, provide a quotation for a customer automatically, and even send emails perhaps with login information and other credentials. And once they've submitted this, I can take them to another website. So we'll say odoo.com is where I want them to go to once they're done. It appears right there. And I can add multiple fields. If I click in here, we can say add another model field, something that Odoo provides. Literally anything I have in the back end that describes this customer, we can add here. A phone number field. And perhaps email. Like I said, really the power of this form is that it'll just populate in the back end information that automatically goes to a certain sales team you've configured, perhaps for a website. That person is now a lead in the back end that you can email, add to a mass mail campaign, send a sale order to, or contact directly. So we've put together very quickly here a little website. We still have other tools to use at the top. If we look at under content, we can edit our menu. I can have multiple shopping pages, multiple categories. Perhaps in this case, I just want this to say buy. Other customization options. Let's change around that theme like we spoke about. I can use other colors that are featured here. Those will populate automatically. change our font. I think Lido. And the layout, how it's going to appear to my clients when they first jump to my page. I'd rather do it boxed, and then maybe I can give it a background image that'll be visible on the sides as someone scrolls down the page. Perfect. So this looks great. It's automatically saved. As you can see up here, this is my URL. The one featured here has odoo.com involved. This is something that'll be generic for your website, and of course, if you own your own domain name, you can set that up too. Finally, something important to show for this page is going to be that mobile compatibility. Especially now, I believe almost 50% of products sold online are sold over some sort of mobile device, iPad, Android. This view allows you, as you put together your site, to scroll through to see what it looks like and what changes I need to make. You notice that animation for this first product coming in. As I scroll through, although on the website they appear laterally, here they appear vertically, and my quotes that'll sift through too. I can even input my information at the end. Now, taking a look at this, something's become obvious. Maybe I need to give a shorter title, things like that. I can click in here and view my other tabs, perhaps reduce clutter as far as my menu goes so that I can have a more clear call to action for my clients. Move by to the top, maybe remove jobs. So that's going to be a very important tool. And like I said, I invite you all to visit this website right now on your phone, potterybarn.odoo.com. You'll see just the way it looks right here. Now, some more features. Let's jump to my Contact Us page. I already have a form here. This is going to be the same thing. I can actually upload this information automatically. It moves to the back end in Odoo and is now someone I can contact, have an automated email go out to, or even assign automatically to a team member within the company. Let's make some changes here. I want to make sure that my clients are aware of my location, perhaps they're nearby, and to do that, I'm going to use a Google Maps integration right here to the page. It's going to ask me for my address. And immediately, my clients can see exactly where on the map I am. Not Brussels. This is another part that I'll fill in and say, and again, in just a couple moments, I've been able to edit my website, put this together, make it look quite professional, and that is still without me even making any customization to the HTML or CSS. Now in Odoo SAS 15, you have access to your HTML, to your CSS. If you have someone within your company that can make these kinds of changes, of course, this really adds a lot of value and potential to what you can do, the colors you can include, fonts, and so on. Now let's jump straight into shopping. So I can come over here to buy. I've made a page here and I've kept it very simple. I've got 3 products that I offer in my inventory. Now, one of them is a service, and the other 2 are physical products. These all have their own pages in the back end in Odoo. I have my inventory quantity on hand, and we can take a look at that specific configuration later, but this is not just in my website app. This is featured throughout the entire system. Now we can jump into my grill. As you'll see here, this only appears to me. I have it published on the website, and I can scroll down. If I've included a description, I can add that. I can see that this product is in stock and other information that's been included. Down here, maybe related products appear, and again, the same menu from the bottom. So let's go ahead and add one of these to my cart. Immediately, I'm prompted with 2 options that might be related to this one. This is something that I've configured in the backend for Odoo. My pizza kit is something that I add to my charcoal grill. That looks great. And of course, I don't want to go through the hassle. Let me add the grill installation as well. I can continue shopping. Immediately, I've got my cart appear up here with the drop-down automatic shadow. And let's go ahead and purchase. This menu, just like any other in Odoo, is completely configurable, the information you provide. Review my cart, and we can see the stages as I roll through it right here. process my checkout, include my billing address, my shipping address. Since I am a return client, these are already filled in automatically. I can confirm this and move forward onto my payment page. At this point, I've got a few different delivery options. These, again, I've all configured in the back end of Odoo. I might have these particular to a product, and especially with my price list, coupons, promotions, which we'll look at later, I can really customize this experience for my consumer. They can receive free shipping over an order of, say, $99. They can receive free shipping over a certain quantity of products. And this can also be configured automatically based on, say, the weight of the total products. So I've chosen one shipping and added that product here and has changed my total. My payment methods, we have a long list of payment acquirers that we can take a look at in a moment. For now, as you can imagine, I only have wire transfer set up. This is the generic one. I haven't hooked up my current credit card company to it. So now, let's pay. And what this does is a trigger within Odoo allows me to now have that documentation in the back end of Odoo. Transactions waiting a manual confirmation because I've done it through a wire transfer. I need to confirm that I've received that. If I'm using credit card, this is a process that is automatic. I've got my information at this point. The client has received an automated email, perhaps about the products in particular or about the sale order included as a PDF. Now, if I jump to the back end again, I'll be able to see this product right here. So again, we've got our information. I've got 2 orders to invoice. That's from before. Now I have a new one order that has come in, sale order 4 as we saw. I can click in. Automatically, this customer's information is featured right here. As you can see by the green button, I can click over to them and see all the information they've provided for me, historic orders, delivery method that was automatically included, and other information about sales and accounting and invoicing that populates automatically. Down here, I've got my products, and I can go ahead and confirm this sale. When I confirm that sale, you'll see that just like the rest of Odoo, if I'm making a phone call sale, some actions are triggered in the system. For one, I have a delivery. If I click to this, my delivery document's been created for these 2 physical products. My inventory is immediately notified that these need to go out. I do have these products in stock, so this is seamless. They are available and can be sent out. If I don't, then Odoo might trigger a reordering rule, an automatic purchase order. Can validate those. They're either loaded into the truck, perhaps I've sent them along with FedEx. Back to the sale order, you'll note that I have a task, and this task is what I use to track my grill installation. The client, the base price that I provide on the website is just for 1 hour of work. That was at a $45 rate. Now that I'm in my task, I can first of all see my different stages. So I might jump in here, and in certain circumstances, this may take longer. So I can actually document my time, either myself from my project management app. My delivery workers can come in here and say, actually, this took 3 hours. And once I've documented this, actually 300% of the time predicted, I can jump back to my sale order and invoice based off of that quantity. Once I come in here, invoiceable lines, let's view the invoice that's included. You'll see that my installation, although initially 1 hour was ordered, 3 have been included because of what I automatically added on the timesheets. So now my total's here. This can be sent out to my client. I can send it over to email, validate, and then once they've paid, register the payment. So again, full integration here from the back end to the front end. We can now look at these statistics. Right from here, I can see the orders that I have, consistency of that product that came in, and click on to my links within Odoo. So now let's move on a little bit to the information and management of my website. So again, I've got all that from one app here. I don't need to jump into the website to do that. I don't need to move into another sales app, for example. I can view my configurations, my reports right from here, and other information about Odoo that I can access from other apps or from this one itself. Let's first take a look at my payment methods. Odoo does not have one generic payment acquirer. We have multiple that you can use. You can actually have more than one at a time. PayPal, Authorize.net, Stripe being among the most popular here. Others, delivery methods that I can configure in and out, website categories. So we did look at just one generic buy page, but I can categorize my products. I can have them in different stages, and I can have dependent website categories as well. Let's take a look at the reporting tool. Much like anywhere else in Odoo, I can play around with my pivot table first. So we might take a look at something like the products that we sold in September. I'm also curious to see the sales channel, website. These all came through, and as usual, I can download this report, view it in other graph charts, and perhaps upload it to Google Sheets or Excel. Other links that we have here, like I said, down here, the Google Analytics, and finally the orders, whether it's a paid order, I can view all my historic information here, use my tools to group by customer, or any other information, again, that's been provided either about the quotation or about this customer in my system. Abandoned carts, this will be an important feature for simply customer retention and increasing ROI. I can send automated emails to my abandoned carts. I can jump in and view exactly what products these consumers were looking at and then send a targeting email or marketing campaign. And that just about does it for my website. Again, we'll take another look. I put this together in just a few moments, had extra features. I can receive information off the site about these clients, and every time someone looks at the cart, every time somebody adds a product, I see that information in the back end, even if they don't get to the purchasing point. Now, from the client side, what does my website look like? What features do I have available to me? Well, you saw, I'm sure at this point you've looked up the website on mobile compatibility. It looks just like we saw in the preview, and as a customer, you do have your own account. Well, there's a portal, just like you might be familiar with in Amazon, for example. Down here, not only do I have my order history that I can click into and view specifically, but I also have, let's take a look back here, I also have information about my tasks, my installations, in other words, my services that are not physical products. I can jump into my tasks, view the progress, the stage I've set, delivery, it's on its way, jump into each one, and if I've allowed this for my customers, they can actually write me a message that is reached directly into the back end and I'm notified about. This is, of course, an important feature for certain businesses, especially the ability to set particular pricing for a client. I might have a 10% discount across the board for my wholesale customers. I set that on the back end on their customer page. Then whenever they come in, log in, they'll have special pricing. And that is a very flexible tool. I can have discounts on particular products, rules based on costing, and so on. That'll really automate that process for you. Now, to return once more, one more feature to look at before we actually take a look at some statistics and optimization is the coupons and promotions. Featured up here, coupons and promotions were something that Odoo used to have in a very basic sense. Now we're looking at very complex promotions that we can set up, and actually coupons that we can create 30 of, hand out to particular customers. For example, using the abandoned cart, allow them a coupon for 10%, allow new customers a 20% discount across the board. If we look at my promotion program, a few things we see off the bat. I can make this equal to certain customers, or I can have it for any new customer applying to the website. I give it a validity date for whether it's a holiday, whether it's a special promotion we have set up, particular products, and then what this promotion entails. A code that they can use it for, minimum purchase of $10 will allow this to set in, and then whether it's free shipping, 10% across the board, discount on a particular product, that appears right here. And so my promotion, again, has a certain date in mind and other specific information. My coupon, if we create one right here, is very similar. The one difference is that really I can generate as many coupons as I need to. And these each I can provide a code for and still have a validity date for a number of days, number of times, number of purchases, number of products. So all in all, a very powerful tool. Now, the last thing to look at is going to be important for the modern day shopper, SEO optimization, if I can jump through here. The SEO optimization basically means the types of information that Google search tools use to prioritize websites to provide these more quickly at the top of the list for a consumer. As you can imagine, this correlates directly with the shopping volume, the access a customer has to your website, and a few things that Google evaluates for this are optimized within Odoo. Number one, improved page speed. This is going to go for your Odoo backend as well as your Odoo front page. We have better SEO rankings and, of course, visitor abandonment, as you see here. But that's based off some technical changes that Odoo's done. We have an efficient CSS and JavaScript. That means minimize bundled information that is not written at the moment, that is not in access, quickly to load, and compressed images, and, of course, the analytics behind your website. These features will keep your Odoo website at the top. We know that a lot of people are coming off of other websites. You've got already a good SEO optimization. You're a customer that's been, or excuse me, a company that's been in the rankings for years, perhaps. Odoo is going to be one of your best options for now, coming on, starting a new website, imitating it exactly, or creating something new, and still not suffering when it comes to ranking in the searches. Now, Todd, that pretty much sums up the presentation for me. I'm sure we have some questions now, and I think we have a little time, so I'm happy to open up to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, Sebastian, thanks so much for sharing all of this. We actually have a couple questions from Darren Legore. So he asked, can you make payments on the back end using Odoo? So, for example, let's say if someone were to call in an order, or you had, maybe a friend email you or something, so it wasn't generated through the website. How could you create that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's see if I can jump right to the back end. Of course, this is going to be a briefer presentation. I didn't go into the details of the back end and Odoo and the organization, but that sale order that we saw on website, if we'll take a look at this, is the exact same kind of sale order that we'd be making if there was a phone order, if it came in from an independent salesperson. If I jump into the sales app, you'll see I can go ahead and create that sale order right here manually if someone calls in. I can choose the customer, the other information that I might populate automatically, perhaps based on my product. Now, importantly, though, Odoo does have that e-commerce integration with those acquirers, which means that the entire system, I can simply click on a link back here, and I can jump to my payment acquirer. If somebody wants to give me their credit card number over the phone, I can plug it in right there and accept that.
Awesome.
I can also, and actually on that note, Todd, we can send email quotations. So if my customer does not feel comfortable with me putting in their credit card information, if it's a phone order, I can send it to them by email. Let's first add a product here. Say my charcoal grill. The total's calculated, and then I can send this to them by email. Odoo has email templates that populate automatically to include the PDF. As you know, I can customize these. I can add as many different templates as I need. In this case, I send this out. It also includes that link, which is a link to my website. So if I click on here, just like my client would, it jumps straight to my quotation template in my back end. They can accept the order. I can customize this to include information about the particular product that they've added right here. They can accept this, pay. You can also just accept a signature from them. And it's a pretty flexible tool. And then, like the rest of the system, once I confirm that, we are triggering moves throughout the rest of Odoo, the delivery orders created.
Perfect. Cool. All right, then the next question, I guess, also from Darren, is can we use the gateway PayPal as the card gateway?
Yep, that's one of our payment acquirers.
Okay, perfect. And then the next question is from HD Fragrances. Can you differentiate between B2B clients versus B2C clients with or without tax?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can set your taxes on the product. You can set your taxes on the customer in the back end. That's all done here. Again, it's not something that needs to be done on the website. You've got your different customers right here, information about them. I can come in here and I can apply taxes, apply customer information, even hook up a bank account. And what this also does is allow me to provide particular people with login credentials. So we spoke about price lists very briefly. I can have regular prices for customers that come onto my website, we call it the public price list. Then I can also have particular price lists set for my vendors, my wholesale purchases. They might receive a discount for a product if they buy 500 or more, if they buy multiple products, and so on.
Cool. Good to know. Now we've got another question from Tim Anderson. Could you link the e-commerce to a calendar to reserve and pay for service appointments?
Yes, so everything's in Odoo is integrated with your calendar. So if you have a particular appointment, perhaps some sort of event that you schedule with your clients, you can have that sale order in the back end hooked to your customer. So if we look at my customer page right here, I can feature my sale orders in one tab, my calendar meetings in another tab with this client, set something up, and this is actually integrated with your Google Calendar, so you can send invites through there. Organize this time. As a manager, I can view all the meetings my clients have, my salespeople have with clients. And then from the same page, send an email, perhaps an automated email, perhaps a particular template for this client, whatever the meeting's going to be about, or the payment options, and maybe schedule an activity to give them a call and remind them about the meeting tomorrow.
Cool.
Something else to note, now this depends on how you have this organized in your company, but we do have an events page in Odoo. If I jump to my main apps page here, I have recruitment. I also have other features like live chat, which will be included automatically in my website. These are links that I did not look at right now because I don't want to go into the details, but my help tickets can be populated right here automatically. I can create fields for people to submit, jobs board, and events as well. People can sign up for events, review them, and actually Odoo, of course, uses this product in-house. I invite you to check out our events page. It's where this webinar was promoted and where all of our events are included. You can sign up for information or tickets and so on.
Awesome. All right, cool. Now we've got another question from Alexandra Braga. Hi, can the user can select product and make order payment using a different currency?
Yeah, so MultiCurrency is something that we set in the back end of Odoo and also on the website. And so you can accept, of course, in line with your payment acquirer, you can accept multiple currencies and have those populated in the Odoo accounting automatically and synced with your accounts with your banking information. So I think if we look under settings for website, we should have this information, multi-currencies. So we can click here, we can add multiple currencies, and Odoo does have integration with online exchange rates, so there's no need to update those every day, update those once a week. That's going to be included natively here.
Cool. And then, actually, I've got a couple questions. That seems to be all that have been asked so far. Oh, actually, one more from Darren. So I would like a credit card system for our customers. Is that possible in Odoo?
I'm not sure what Darren means by that.
Yeah, Darren, would you mind elaborating what you mean by credit card system or just a general portal?
I'll speak in general to what I think until Darren clarifies. You can have subscriptions set up with your customers. You can have actually tokenization of their credit cards, so you can hold on to that information if you provide products once a month to them and have an automatic payment go through. Things like that are included for your customer's credit card.
Cool. Awesome. I think that probably answers the question. And we got another question from Tim Anderson. Can a product be a golden service appointment that takes 45 minutes and have it attributed to a service person? So I guess this is a general question about service
products.
Yeah,
so I'll speak generally to service products, but you can have multiple, just like any other physical product in Odoo, a service product would have its own page, its own configuration. And as you saw, when I created that product, or when I put the service product on the quotation and confirmed it, it created a task. That appears here in my project app in Odoo. I've got 3 tasks. Each one appears in a different stage. and you can see here who it's assigned to. So when you sell that service on Odoo, that creates a task that appears in whatever project you've set it for. Depending on the configuration you have for that project, it can be automatically assigned to somebody in your company. It can be a round-robin style of assignation, or it can assign to a team. That team is automatically a follower of this project, which means that they'll receive a notification in Odoo or in their regular email inbox, whether that's Gmail or Outlook, about being assigned to that project. Once they've been assigned to that, they can take a look at the project. Like we saw, per hours, you can have a set fixed price for that service. You can also charge based on the amount of time you actually spend on it, and then send the invoice through email.
Awesome. All right, cool. And now, I've got a question of my own, I guess. I was curious, is there a way that you can look at the website and e-commerce app from a different user perspective? Like if you wanted to see it from, just a general
See how your client might see it, for example?
See how the client might see it.
That one is simply, if I am on my website, let's see if I can jump to it, just logging out, right?
Oh, okay.
There are other tools, like we have preview capabilities, but since I'm here in incognito, let's see if we can visit it right here. But yeah, you've got preview features. There is A/B testing. It's going to be a pretty powerful tool for a company that's often changing their website, perhaps including promotions. A/B testing is going to be a configuration that we can set up. And what that means, what A/B testing is, if you're not familiar with it, is having two versions of a website, and especially if you're hooked up with Google Analytics, other reports and statistics, you can see what website's more popular, which one has more retention of a customer, which one produces more or less abandoned carts, and with that information, choose the right theme, the right features or sale information on your website. But as you can see, I did just come over here. I've got my website featured here, and what I just described is something that we can activate right from the website configuration page under settings, A/B testing. I can set this, and then this will basically add some features when I'm editing the site to allow me to save some for later, save a version, and so on.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Oh, and I guess another question that's kind of related, hopefully this will answer more of your questions, Darren, about the credit thing. You can create kind of like logins, right? Like, so if someone, because you'd mentioned that vendors can have accounts and stuff, right?
Yeah, so you can have things set so that actually any client that makes a purchase on your website can create login information. So they can be, you can have a return system like that. You can then have special promotions for return clients. As we discussed before, they are now part of your list of customers. You can send promotional information, apply coupons to these particular customers that are now login customers, send that out to them by email. And more so than just a regular client, you can have particular vendors, tiers of vendors, say, a vendor group gold, platinum, bronze. And for each of those vendors, they can log in, they have their order information, or when they see all the products on your site, those might reflect different prices that you've set per tier of vendor, as an example.
Gotcha.
But yeah, in short, you can have login information for each customer. You can send them that information, and you can control the kind of access rights or permissions that particular person has in the back end, their ability to log into their portal and what information they see.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, thanks so much. Let me see if there's another question. I think you might have kind of already answered this question to some degree, Sebastian, but let's say that I had a digital product. Let's say if I created stock footage and I wanted people to be able to download stock footage from my website, would you be able to do that through e-commerce?
Yeah, absolutely. So, a lot of software companies, like you said, maybe marketing companies, you can provide digital products on Odoo, just how we had a service that triggered moves in the back end of Odoo, a product that triggered a delivery order. We can have a service, really just some sort of downloadable digital product that once purchased allows you to download in the cart of Odoo. You can also set up an email to be sent to that person with the attached files.
Excellent. Well, this has been super helpful, Sebastian. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit with us today. I believe that's pretty much all the questions that we have for today. So if you guys have any further questions that you'd like to ask us, you can send them to webinars@odoo.com. And I'd also like to say, if you'd like to, actually, I'll leave this up to you.
Yeah, sure. So like Todd described at first, I am a business advisor here at Odoo. I often work with different companies, the kind of solution you're looking for, and putting together, as you can see, with this pretty customizable platform, something that's going to work ideally for you. I'd be happy to get specific questions from you guys. If we jump back to my screen here, I've got my email address up here. There it is, ses@odoo.com. Also, when Todd posts this this webinar online, it goes up immediately. There will be information there that links to my specific Acuity link. What that means is a link to my calendar. You can book time. We can have a phone call, maybe a demo to look at your particular case.
Absolutely. Perfect. Yeah, and also if you didn't get all that, you can go into the description at the YouTube description, and you'll see a link to be able to schedule an appointment with Sebastian that way. Now, as always, thank you guys for your support. We couldn't be here without our Odoo community, and if you'd like to find out more information on future webinars, just tune in every Wednesday. You can check out our events page on odoo.com/events, and you can also subscribe here, check us out on Twitter, and just stay tuned for all future stuff. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, signing off.